Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport here for the GT4 action. It is Laguna, Seca, and it is a chance for these GT4 drivers to take on this legendary circuit. Once again, we are back on the PS4 version, and we do apologise for the camera angles as always. 10 drivers on the grid. Tibbs will be back in for the qualifying and the race session. Noe McKizzle, she is away and other personal priorities tonight, so she will not be able to take part in tonight's race. But we are joined though by 10 drivers on this grid into race 13 and 14, as there's 4 tracks left on the grid. PNMotorsport joins me in the commentary box. PN, good evening.
Good evening, Matt. I've still got this persistent cough for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have noticed that you can't seem to shake that.
No, it's that time of year. That or I could be old.
The most wonderful time of the year.
Well, I'm going to a Christmas light switch on Friday with my niece and nephew. So, yeah.
The festive spirit.
Nah, the only festive spirit would be the alcohol.
Yeah, to be fair, don't blame you. Right, we are here at Laguna Seca. We've crossed the pond. We're in America, back at Laguna PN, which is a fantastic circuit, and really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. At least we've got enough drivers for a stream this week, unlike last week.
Yeah, which obviously you took part in. You sit in 10th place in the championship. Now Laguna Seca only actually has, as far as I can see, 3 corner names.
Corkscrew's one of them. That's the obvious one.
They're the only 3 that I can see. The Corkscrew, Roll Straight, and the Andretti Hairpin. Apart from that, it's just T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. Either way, so we will bring you the corner names. The championship standings out look a little like this as we move into the business end of the season. Fury leads the way, 23 points clear of Unorthodox with Smoky Devil in P4. Dennis Newman sits in Smokey sits P3, Dennis Newman sits P4 with Kishanyika P5. We're expecting Kishanyika back in 2 weeks' time. It's 2-3 weeks, he said, from now that his pedals should be back. So hopefully he's back in that 2 weeks' time. Peaceful Explosion sits P6. He's got the chance to go above Kishanyika tonight. Future Revenge is 7th with Louis Allen in 8th, who's back out there tonight. Exits Tibbs is P9 with PNMotorsport rounding out the top 10. DJ Phil P11 with De Hoffner 12. Doc 2 is P13. Sooty Apex P14 with Gary 131 in 15th place. Dean Wisocki P16. Bryn 17th. John Andrews 18th, who's had to go back into hospital for an operation. And then we have E. McKizzle in 19th, Lucas Roth 20th, Monkey Boy 21st, Overtaker, and then Shane rounding out the 23 drivers. So for tonight, PN, 10 drivers on the grid. What are we expecting from tonight's race?
Well, hopefully a nice close battle between Dan and Fury. Hopefully
so. Tonight as well, by the way, race 1 will mark Giannetta's 200th race appearance here at SimPlay Motorsport. It's been a while for the Giannetta. Obviously, we've not been on Project Cars 2 for a while, so Giannetta tonight will get its 200th race start.
Are we combining the GT4s with the GT3 stats?
We are, yes, we are. Yeah, because Gary took the Giannetta's 25th pole position, if you remember.
And his 25th pole position as well, at the same time.
At the same time. Other things that can happen tonight. Fury needs 3 poles for 25. He can get 1 of them. That's possibly not going to happen until next week if he gets pole tonight and pole on Thursday. He needs 2 wins for his 50th race win. And that is all we have for tonight in terms of the most successful drivers around this Laguna Seca circuit. Let me just find the right track. There it is. It is BT Target, Unorthodox, and Big Boy Brazier, who are the 3 most successful drivers at Laguna Seca. BT Target and Dan with 1 pole position and 2 wins to their name. Jamie with 2 wins and 2 poles and a win to his name. Other drivers that are on there is Amplava with 1 and 1. Dean Wisocki, actually, it's a shame Dean's not here tonight. He's had 2 pole positions at Laguna Seca, so clearly a track he goes well at.
Yeah, it's a shame Dean's not here. Hurt his foot, I believe he said on Discord earlier.
Yeah.
Possibly
from work, as I know he. I believe, I know he does quite a manual job. So.
Oh, it could be. He did have wheel issues yesterday as well.
He had wheel issues as well, yeah. So that could also be a factor. Good evening, though, to Tracy, Peaceful Stepdad, Fury's mum, and Fury's granddad, all in the comment section. of the stream. Like we say, we're going to bring you as best stream as possible. Obviously, the camera angle's still not working. I will try that replay feature once again. The track, though, PN, hasn't rubbered in. And it's one of the warmer races this season of 34 degrees track temperature, I'm noticing.
Yeah, bodes well for everyone the rest of the week, doesn't it? With
Yeah.
Pro-Am and Pro. With it not actually being cold.
No, indeed it does. We will try the replay feature once again to see if that one does work, and hopefully it will. Obviously, we've decided to pull the plug on AmStream, so Am will still be run tomorrow, but it will not be streamed at all tomorrow.
So everyone might miss me get the third win. Damn.
Potentially so, yeah. Although De Hoffner is back. Future Revenge. In fact, no, I don't know that one with the F is there. Hopefully that pops up. I can't quite see.
I'm inside Dan's car and I cannot see nothing. My KTM's just disappeared.
I believe that is Future Revenge. Might be Baraba.
What's that?
I think Baraba's changed. Yeah, I think Baraba's changed his picture. So Baraba has confirmed. Danik has confirmed. Ratidas hasn't. There is a new driver in for tomorrow. And so far we have 8, potentially 9 drivers out on the grid tomorrow evening for the Am race. And obviously Pro-Am should be streamed once again as well. On Wednesday evening, again, this is why we're bringing you now the PS5 version on a Sunday night, because we just know that the cameras just aren't working on PS4. It's making it very difficult to stream on the PS4 edition, which is a shame, Pierre, because we had a cracking season lined up in Am and Pro-Am, as well as the GT4s, especially with Dan and Fury fighting out once again.
Yeah, and we didn't last long on the PS4 version, have we?
2 races, I believe it was, into the season before it went down.
Yeah, Monza for Pro. It went down for Monza for Pro. Because we were pushing it back, trying to get everything to work.
Yeah, it went down the week. It was working on the Wednesday night for Pro-Am, and then it went down on the Thursday. Drivers are getting ready to ready up. 10 drivers on the grid as it chucks me in PN into the pit lane. Let's try that replay feature and hopefully see if it works. I don't see why it wouldn't.
I've just opened up my broadcast cameras with, camera, so I could actually go to trace cam.
I don't think it has worked as live, no. I don't know what I did last week to make it different, but it worked as live last week.
Is it in the replay part within, where instead of one in the menu?
No, because I did the menu one and that was it. It was working and fine, and yeah, everything was good. So I don't know what I actually did. Either way, the reverse grid should be like this.
I've got it working.
Oh, so it's working live for you?
Yep.
How did you
I'm watching the cars go in the reverse grid right now.
Right. Well, you'll be able to tell us if the grid is working then, as I cannot do that at the moment. So the reverse grid
until
should
I got
be...
to the end. It's stopped now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It was working last week, and I don't know why it was working last week. There's no live feature on that, is it? No, that is just to speed it up. So the reverse grid feature should be, or the reverse grid thing should be as follows. I can't quite see it at the moment, so I don't know if it is the case. It should be Dr. Owen Paul from De Hoffner, DJ Phil, Tibbs, Louis Allen, Peaceful Explosion, Unorthodox, Fury, Smokey, and then Future Revenge, no E. McKizzle. Smokey Devil has a qualifying ban for the second race of the night. And I'm just looking at Fury's stream. Smokey and Future Revenge in position. Fury, Dan, Peaceful, Louis Allen, Tibbs in position. If I go to Mike's stream, you'll be able to see a couple of drivers further forward. DJ Phil, and then De Hoffner, and then it will be Doctor Who. But at the minute they're coming round through the corkscrew, you have just got to put up with mine and PN's KTM's in the pit lane at the moment until we can bring you.
Oh, I think they're in a great good order. I've got floating cars, so looking at the replay, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, it should be putting us. I don't know what I did, but last week I was able to watch the replay sort of live while on this. It was like, oh, right, yeah, maybe we can do it this way for the stream. No, it's not had it. Just in the KTM, so the cars aren't, being blocked by anybody in the pits. The drivers come to the grid, though. We will return to the garage as soon as we possibly can. Race start has been initialised. We're about to go green here at Laguna Seca. It is green and go as we return to the pits. And then select exits Tibbs, who's already going to the outside of De Hoffner. And he's going to look to the outside then of someone else. Dan and Fury around into each other, so the two championship leaders are off. Fury's well off. Where's Dan? Only just rejoining Smoky Devil in that, as was DJ Phil and Future Revenge. But it looks like Fury's come away a bit better than Dan. Mike's now looking on the back of a few of the cars up front. Tibbs looking up the inside of De Hoffner. The Chevrolet gets the job done on the Ginetta, making its 200th race start. Mike's going to have a look coming in towards turn 3. And he can't get it done there. De Hoffner tucks back in between, but it is Dr. Who leads from exits Tibbs. De Hoffner, then Peaceful Explosion. Fury's 5th from Smoky Devil. DJ Phil with damage on the rear. Future Revenge, then on Orthodubs. And Louis Allen down at the back of pack, who got caught up in that as well, PM.
Yeah, that was an interesting turn 1. Excuse me for a second while I go cough.
As PM then looking up the inside, looking up the inside of De Hoffner as they come up towards Hill. It's coming up to the corkscrew now. Is Tibbs' big Chevrolet on home soil going to look to make a move on Doctor Who? No, he doesn't. Doctor Who should be all right through the corkscrew. Mike's going to have a look up the inside of the corkscrew on De Hoffner. Plenty of room given by both. Can't get the move done there. Fury's watching in the background, who wants to take a bit of a championship lead over Dan and extend that here. Then it's Smoky, DJ Phil. Dan's past Future Revenge, so he's got that job done. He's back out of one car. There's 2 between him and Smoky Devil now. But Fury's right on the back of Mike. As Tibbs is looking to the outside at the final corner. Is he going to look for the switchback on Doctor Who? Doesn't get it parked on the apex beautifully, but looks like he got a better exit, PM.
He did. I was watching that, and then... Does the KTM more have more? No, it don't have more grunt than the
Fury
Chevy.
Pulling to the inside of Peaceful Explosion, and Fury gets past Peaceful Explosion, and they've both got past De Hoffner. So I don't know how they've done that, but look at the BMW straight line speed. Smokey's looking up the inside of De Hoffner as well. Can't get it done there. And Dan now with Louis Allen already in the pits. Dan has got to do something here. He's on the back of DJ Phil, but there is now 4 cars between him. Sorry, 3 cars. No, we have 4 between himself and Fury.
Yeah, well, he's trying to hope that Doctor Who and Tibbs can hold Fury off.
Smoky Devil bouncing off the T3 curve. Here comes Tibbs then, looking to the outside as they come in towards the middle sector of the lap on Doctor Who. Fury's going to be the car right behind them. You see Fury's view here, watching on. He's got a good view of this as well as they come up the hill now. Mike trying to get on the back of Fury once again. He's pulling away from De Hoffner a little bit. Smoky Devil trying to stick with him. Dan's got past DJ Phil, and now Dan hunts down them. There's 3 cars between himself and Fury. But Tibbs, who's got the run up the hill towards the corkscrew, he's got that inside line. The Chevy looks like it's got past the Ginetta. And is that job done for Tibbs? It is. Fury has to sit and wait as the Ginetta breaks through the corkscrew. Now is he going to have that inside line in towards the left-hand bend? He is. That's a great move from Fury, who just gets a tap there from Doctor Who, and Fury's through. PN Joe is on a charge at the moment.
He is. I don't know how much damage he's got on the car with in the side when Dan looked like he speared him. As Louis completed his pit stop.
Yeah, and Smoky Devil's in. DJ Phil doesn't pit, neither does Future Revenge. So Dan gets clear of Smoky Devil, who he was gaining on. He can still see the leaders. Tibbs has now got to help. As I've pressed replay there, apologies. I wonder if it'll work now if I get to the part of it. Piano will be able to tell us where they are on track.
Right, I'll go to Tibbs. He's now gone under the Cooper tyre bridge. Is Tibbs, which was the Mazda bridge.
No, it's still not doing it, so we're just going to leave that and not press replay again. So Tibbs still leads from Fury, who at the moment leads from Doctor Who. Peaceful is right on the back of Doctor Who, and De Hoffner not being caught by Dan massively at the moment. Then we're all 4 minutes into this race. We've obviously got the 45-minute race coming up a little later on.
Yeah, as well, Dan's completely dropped Phil.
Yeah, he's
Smokey's in the pits. Future Revenge is not got past Phil yet either. Does Louis jump Smokey? I don't think so. No, he might do, because I can see Smokey in the pit lane.
Yeah, Smokey is in the pit lane. He's out of it now, or he's on the exit. Louis is not close enough. At the moment, DJ Phil coming under some pressure from Future Revenge. Them 2 have been dropped. Dan now deciding to box early as Peaceful Explosion's looking around the outside of Doctor Who. He can't turn in anymore because Doctor Who is there. Still side by side as they exit the final corner. The Ginetta just doesn't seem to have the legs down the straight. Here comes Peaceful Explosion. He's going to have to go the long way round at turn 1. Just jump forward to Fury. He's not close enough yet. And Peaceful, does he get that move complete? He does at the moment, yes. He goes up into
Fury's
P3. Peaceful's on the podium and Fury's got past Tibbs. What did he do, Pian?
He just held the line tighter, but Tibbs ran out wide and probably got kicked up a bit of dirt, like Fury's doing now. Like
Fury's just done there, kicks up a little bit of dirt. Tibbs bouncing over the sausage curbs as that Chevrolet seems to ride it a little better than the BMW. So Joe didn't want anything to do with that sausage curb. Dan in the pits, though, so an early stop for Dan. This could really prove vital for him in terms of getting out here.
He's between both arcade teams.
Yeah, I've just seen.
He's not
going to be liking that. Evening to Hypertech in the chat as well. Very good evening to you. Who was in the PS5 race last night. Dan is away and he's off the limiter now. DJ Phil, I believe, pitted, repaired his damage, but didn't do his mandatory stop.
Nope.
So DJ Phil in a spot above there. Fury leads this race though. Dan is out the pits and is behind DJ Phil. He's jumped Smokey by an absolute country mile here. And Smokey's coming under some pressure from Louis Allen. So undercut strong maybe?
Maybe. Well, Smokey stopped to that before Dan, so...
Joe goes a little deep. Does he get the exit he wants? Tibbs all over the back of him at the moment. De Hoffner and Doctor Who having a little scrap as well. Tibbs in that slipstream of the BMW. The BMW, though, just seems to have the legs. Is Tibbs going to think of lunging into turn 1? He's going to have a look, you know, is Tibbs. Bit earlier on the brakes than Fury. Fury has to get that tucked in and hold that tight line as she goes through. Louis Allen's got past Smokey Devil, it says on the timer screen. Wiggle for Fury! Wiggle for Fury! And he's had a big snap on the exit of the Andretti hairpin. And for Joe there, he hangs on to it, but at what cost? He's lost out to Tibbs. And Mike's gaining on the pair of them now. De Hoffner's gaining on the back of Doctor Who.
The teammates in AM.
Yeah, the only team in AM that there is really no team's championship. So, yeah.
Should try Bentley's. Phil's back in the pits.
Yeah, Phil's back in. That'll be to complete his mandatory stop. Smokey looking on Louis Allen, but that is at the corkscrew. It's going to be difficult to overtake there. De Hoffner's losing out, and Fury's made another mistake. A Peaceful Explosion gets up the inside, and he's into P2 now and on the back of Tibbs. And Fury making a few little mistakes here. Dan could be wanting to capitalise. Fury's now back down to 3rd. Dan in 7th, but with Future Revenge yet to pit. Who Dan, by the way, is about half a lap behind Future Revenge. Fury trying to keep it tight compared to Mike. Cannot do so through the left-hander. And now Mike could really play in the favour of an Orthodox in this championship battle. Mike all over the gravel. Mike boxes. Gets out of Joe's way.
Yep, as Mike's looking quite good here tonight.
He's looked pretty... To be fair to Mike, he's looked pretty racy in these GT4s all season when he's been in.
Maybe he should have used the Merc GT3 car in Chrome.
It was a car he liked a lot on Project Cars. De Hoffner still on the back of Doctor Who as Fury now trying to get back onto the rear end of Tibbs. Future Revenge does not box. DJ Phil comes out, but he's now a lap down to the field as Louis Allen, back behind Smokey Devil, but looking all over the rear of him once again. De Hoffner's lost out to Doctor Who somewhere. Fury's within a second of Tibbs. So the closest fight at the minute is Smokey Louis Allen, but as Smokey's tyres come up to pressure maybe after his pit stop, and he's now started to pull away.
Possibly, yes. Hard to say, we can't see that.
Just looking at noticeable drivers on race starts. The next one is Nexus to get his 50th race start. Next one for the 100th will be Leon Fernie. Next one for the 150th will be Plava. Next one for the 200th will actually be Monkey Boy in 4 races' time. Next one for the 250th will be Peaceful. So this will help get towards Mike's 250th as Dan's within 9/10 of Peaceful Explosion. In fact, no, he's not. Dan has passed Peaceful Explosion. So the undercut possibly seems the better pit stop, because if Dan's jumped Peaceful by that margin, well, that means he's going to jump Fury as Tibbs sells Fury the dummy, but Fury doesn't fall for it.
No.
If Dan's jumped Peaceful by that much here, by the way, he could really jump Fury and Tibbs here.
He could be, yeah. Yeah, it's looking like the earlier stop for Dan is working. Repair the damage he may have had on his front splitter.
Well, everybody in the top 5 stay out. Dan's coming up to the corkscrew while Future Revenge is just about to cross the line. Fury's within 2/10 of Tibbs, and Tibbs here, good result in pro, the other day, last Thursday. So, I forgot to get the poll on. Apologies, Tracy. But Tibbs looking very strong for a win. Who's this who's rejoining the track? That is Louis Allen. Stays to that left-hand side. Tibbs in the middle of the road. Tibbs and Louis Allen, teammates in pro.
That would have gone down well,
that would have gone down very well. No teams, though, on the GT4s. And Tibbs currently defending. Joe's going to have a look for a move there. Sells Tibbs the dummy now. Tibbs doesn't fall for it. Possibly runs a little wide on exit. That'll actually compromise Joe through the left-hander.
Yes. Maybe it's just driving lines.
Yeah, different driving lines, isn't it? And it's interesting to see. But they're both trying to sell each other the dummy and to jink the other one into making a mistake or force the other one into making a mistake. Joe carries so much corner speed through there. He's going to have a run up the inside into the next part of the track. He's going up the inside. He's on the grass. He sort of straddles that sausage curb. Evening to Laura in the chat, and into the pits comes Joe. Tibbs follows straight in. Oh, that was close to being rear-ended. Evening on Orthodox.
As Dr. Who continues,
so does De Hoffner, and he nearly gets rear-ended. What about Future Revenge? Is he going to box? Now, the interesting question here is for Joe, did he have any damage due to that start with unorthodox? Just looking at his pit stop, he's now stopped in his box. He did, 10 seconds worth, so he's repairing that damage. Danny's at the corkscrew. And Future Revenge stays out, so Future Revenge moves up to P3. Dan's at the corkscrew. Mike, 6 seconds behind Dan. Tibbs and Mike here could be the beneficiary. In fact, Tibbs looks like he's got a bit of rear-end damage. I wonder if he's repairing that as well. Dan now coming towards the penultimate corner. And where is Joe in that pit lane? He's about halfway down the pit lane. Tibbs is a little closer. Dan now breaks into the final corner. Dan will want Mike to be in front of Fury. He'll want Tibbs to be in front of Fury. Well, Tibbs has been released. You see Tibbs to the left-hand side of the screen. He's away. Doesn't look like he's repaired damage, but Dan will be the net leader of this race. Fury's now away, but here comes Peaceful, who jumps Fury as well. So the undercut, clearly the better pit stop. Can Peaceful get ahead of Tibbs? For Fury, then, as Smoky Devil's very wide. For Fury, it was a pit stop where he repaired his damage, but he's got 8 minutes to really gain. Tibbs is coming out of the pit lane now. Mike's gone through Andretti Hairpin, and Fury's not even hit the brakes for Andretti Hairpin. Dan, net race leader, great decision to box early.
Yeah, that really worked quite well in the sprint race. Be interested to see if it works in the feature race, the 45-minute race. Doctor Who stays out, De Hoffner's in.
Yeah, De Hoffner's in. What will Future Revenge do? The interesting thing is Dan's got 6 seconds to Tibbs, who's got Mike within 1.1. Mike's got 11 seconds to Fury. In 7 minutes, Fury has got to go some here, because this could really turn the championship upside down. Future Revenge stays out then.
This is such a net of 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
At the minute, yeah. It will be, though, until Unorthodox comes. He's coming round to the penultimate corner. And De Hoffner, he's still stationary, just sat behind the KTM of myself. And Dan now will inherit that lead. What a strategy call from Unorthodox.
It was almost perfect call, wasn't it? It's like, right, pit early, get some clear track, go for it.
Dan, over the start line, takes the lead of this race. Tibbs will take second place. De Hoffner is now released, but Mike will come through for third. He's off. Yeah, he's oh no, he's only just left away, so he got dropped in green. You see De Hoffner exiting the pits. De Hoffner's coming off the limiter now, just as Fury goes flying past, so De Hoffner will not be near Fury come Andretti Hairpin. But Joe has now got to try and work his way onto the back of Mike. Mike, though, is within a second of exit Tibbs here, so at the moment for Mike, he's really gaining on the back of Tibbs.
Yeah, I think he likes this smirk. Oh, Future Revenge has cut the corkscrew. 1 sec, I'm just going to have to take a drink.
Yep, no problem. Fury still 11.5 seconds off the back of Mike, as Mike 7/10 off the back of Tibbs, and Mike will be looking for another podium here in these GT4s. He's had a good, solid GT4 season, has Mike. He's been rather good and nifty in these. 2 podiums to his name. Currently 6th in the championship, came in late and hasn't done every single race. He's only been able to do certain race ones, but looks handy tonight to go ahead of Kishanyika and possibly close points on Dennis Newman. as well. He's 210 off the championship lead. He can still mathematically win this championship, but at the minute he won't. So can DJ Phil, PN. Them two, DJ Phil will be eliminated in this race. PN, Tibbs, Louis Allen, Future Revenge will all be eliminated in the next race, depending on what points are scored. And at the minute, Mike may just hang in there because he's so far outscoring that of Fury. As Dan passes Future Revenge is in. So does Tibbs, so does Mike. Fury's got the gap down to 10.7, but in under 5 minutes, I don't think Fury's going to be on the podium in this race.
No, I'm back now. Sorry about that. Apologies.
No, you're fine.
The stream. Well, can I get last place points for being in the comms box?
No. Otherwise, I should have scored last place points all season.
Well, yeah, at least just keep you. Oh, that's another championship for me. Yay.
I'd have beat Gary, I reckon it is straight. Smokey Devil gets past Future Revenge. Louis Allen is potentially going to get past Future Revenge. In fact, no, he's not, because Future Revenge is off the limiter. So De Hoffner and Smokey Devil get through. Mike still on the back of Tibbs here. This is technically for net second place. For Doctor Who here, though, what kind of strategy is he thinking?
Well, he's in.
There we go. That strategy.
Yeah, I think he may have touched the wall, actually, when he came into the pit lane.
We'll see where he comes out in relation to De Hoffner. We said that the undercut looks strong, so we'll see what happens then.
He's at the back up.
Did he miss his pit box?
Slightly, yeah.
That'll massively play into De Hoffner's hands. Mike doesn't get the best of corkscrews behind Tibbs. Has a horrible corkscrew behind Tibbs. Evening to Mother Davis in the chat. And as they come towards the penultimate corner, Fury's got the gap down to 9.7. But you imagine with 3 3/4 minutes left, it's going to be hard for Joe. He's got to hope that these two hold each other up and fight big time.
Yeah, he's done a. That's the hope, because 9 seconds in 3 minutes.
Yeah. One thing as well, by the way, PN, it's a Chevy 1-2.
It is a Chevy 1-2 with a Merc third currently.
So Fury goes back up to now net P4. Doctor Who is now away. You see him there. He's just going to exit the pit line now. He's off his limiter, and Smokey will also go through. So Doctor Who actually loses 2 places. Undercut seems very, very strong here.
Yep, as he's no breaking not to go over the gravel, which he's done. He's gone over the gravel. Return to the. Yeah.
Fine with that. It's a hard pit exit to get right, but he didn't just enter the track. He joined where he should have joined. 9.8 Fury off the back of Mike now, so Fury's lost even more times. Tibbs, though, has actually pulled away a little bit from Mike. So at the minute, Tibbs, look at the Chevrolet on home soil, looking a good car.
Yeah, it is. Maybe we wish we were on the PS5 version now with Coulter, Watkins. And
Indianapolis. Yeah, exactly. We obviously go from America to Japan. Next week we're at Suzuka.
Has anyone looked at the weather for that yet?
Not yet. But what GT4 car do you think will be the one to watch for Suzuka?
I would actually probably say the Ginetta.
Yeah.
Because
I think bar exit of Spoon to the chicane, which will be all BMW, I think the Ginetta could be the car to watch.
I would probably say the Ginetta, but it also depends on the weather.
Yes.
It's Japan in late November.
In late November. In fact, is it late November? Yeah, it's the 27th, next Monday, so yeah.
Yes, it's just November. Where has this year gone? There's another conversation.
There's another one
it's
gone.
Just gone.
Do you know what? It doesn't feel like 5 minutes ago that it was at Donington Park at the end of August with Joe and everybody, and now we sort of sat here, looking at the edge of December, the back end of November and the beginning of December. We're looking at Christmas, and before you know it, it's New Year, and we go again.
Yeah, and then after that, I have hit another milestone. Yay.
50?
Another age. No.
Oh.
Not for about 9 years yet.
By milestone, I thought you meant in the age. Joe's only gained. Sorry, go on.
Well, it is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. The number of 42. So.
Right. Joe what's he going to be? He was 9.7. He gained a 10th through Sector 1. What's he going to gain through Sector 2? Mike looks like he's happy to settle for that 3rd place. Joe is 9.4 seconds now. But with Dan about to cross the line to start the last lap of the race, I don't think Joe's going to do it, barring a mistake.
Yeah. But a perfect strategy call by Dan.
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on.
Got in at God, you know, it's Smokey. 1.5 off the back of the Hoffner. He'll be looking for a top 5.
Yeah, and hopefully no penalty points.
Let me look at this. Chevrolet tonight could go on to 6 race wins. It will put it above the Renault. Double podium for the Chevrolet. Will not just take it tied with the Lexus, it'll take it past the Lexus in terms of podiums. So there we go. Mercedes will go on to 260 podiums. They'll be 29 ahead of the Porsche. So interesting at the moment. We're on the final lap of the race. Smokey's lost time to the Hoffner, to be fair to him, as Mike has lost time to Tibbs. So I think Mike is possibly just bringing this home for P3.
Yeah, it looked like it. Well, I'm happy with a P3. I don't really do all the GT4s.
Yeah. It's points. It's another race start. It's points in the bag for Mike. It's, you know, it's a good night's worth of racing.
It's a point
for Peaceful Explosion. As well as this will mean that Dan will be the most successful driver outright at Laguna Seca.
With another win.
With yet another win. 1 pole, 3 wins to his name. Fury only has 1 win here. He's never took a pole. He's never took a race win. So for Fury, you know, he's had a bit of a bad omen at this circuit. Either way, Dan's exited the penultimate corner. He's going to come to the final corner now. It has been a good display from an Orthodubs already in this first race. It is going to be Dan Davis, an Orthodubs 16, who wins round 13 of the season and closes that championship fight up to Fury. Tibbs is going to come home for P2. What a night for him that is. What a start to his night. Mike will come home for P3. Another good solid drive there. Fury a little further back. He is going to be P4. And then we have that little wait now for De Hoffner, who's going to come to the line. De Hoffner will take P5. Smoky Devil is going to take P6. Doctor Who, P7. Yep. Future Revenge, P8. Go on, PN, sorry.
Yeah, I was just watching them across the start line. And Louis was only 3.6 behind Future Revenge.
Not the best of races we've seen from Louis.
No, he's, well, some interesting racing from him in Pro as well.
Just hasn't, you what, sorry?
It doesn't seem he has clicked.
No,
for,
click clash here in the Honda in Pro-Am, but just something's
Pro,
not clicked for him in Pro this season, has it?
Pro's just it's a different ball game with the calibre of drivers.
Different kettle of fish in Pro. Well, that is race 1 done as DJ Phil is going to come to the line to end the first race. It's a win for Dan, a double podium for Chevrolet, and a 3rd place for Peaceful Explosion. We'll be back in a few moments' time with race 2.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. Golden. Laid on the carpet, eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're glowing. Golden.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport, where we're here live for the second race of the evening. Back at Laguna, Seca, it's round 14. The championship standings look a little like this. After Unorthodox takes his 69th race win. If Buzzy Boy's watching, it's 12 points in the championship between Unorthodox and Fury, but Fury leads the way, 394 points from Dan's 382. Smoky Devil is then 100 points behind on 294. Dennis Newman on 211. Obviously, we hope he gets well and is back sooner rather than later. Mike is 24 points behind Dennis. So could Mike be in the top 4 of the championship come tonight? He's 7 clear of Kishani Crew, should be back in 2 weeks' time. Future Revenge, 7th place, just ahead of Tibbs by 4 points. Louis Allen is P9. DJ Phil moves into 10th with PNMotorsport 11th. De Hoffner, P12 with Doctor Who 13th. And then the bottom half stays as it is. We are joined by third and first, and we'll start, first of all, with your third place man. Now, before we get into third place man, let's talk sponsorship. If you are a fan of our sponsors, get down into the comment section and go and check out Audio Sport, who do... Dan, just tell us again, because T3s, T4s, T4, T5s...
T4, T5s, specialists in audio solutions for speakers and stereo systems, and anything you want to do to camp out and make your T4 and T5 that extra bit special, ready for Christmas.
Mike, good evening. Are we well?
Hello, I'm all good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not bad. Did you want to plug Design Manchester, or do you want me to do it?
Why not? Design Manchester, it's got stuff coming out for Christmas, all personalised goods such as laser engraved glasses, including having a photo laser engraved onto the glass, quite a popular item. All my Christmas items coming out soon. Check out the links in the bottom of the stream.
Do all the good stuff. Go and check out Audio Sport and Designed Manchester there. We will start with Mike, though. P3, Mike, you seem to be enjoying these GT4 cars. I know there's not a lot of drivers on the grid week in, week out, but you always seem to be there or thereabouts on the podium.
Yeah, I quite like them. I quite gel with it, to be honest. Get in, load the aggressive setup, and then do whatever tweaks I can do to make it quicker.
P3 tonight, you was on the back of Tibbs for P2, but it looked like you just kept making a few too many mistakes and settled for the podium. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, especially in the final. I was pushing a bit too hard, and I kept going deep at a few corners or being a bit squirrely, so I thought, I'm happy with third. I'm not going to catch him. It'll be too much of a risk. I may as well just take the points.
Now, in terms of your Mercedes, we've seen 3 different paces in the cars. The battle you had with Fury and Tibbs at the start of the race, we seem to be having the Mercedes that's got more straight line speed than that Chevrolet, but the BMW just seems to have more straight line speed than both.
Yeah, Fury. Wow, the speed he passed me at one point. I'm like, where have you just come from? He just appeared at the side of me.
Race 2, going into this one, obviously I know you're qualifying at the moment. What can you do in that second race? What's your goal?
Get a clean start and just try and get a bit of a gap. If I can get past Dan and Fury, I've got a feeling them two are the sort of front runner 2, and then it's battle for third again.
Well, Mike, we'll let you get
the options there. I'm having it.
Yeah, indeed. So, Mike, congratulations on the P3. We'll let you get back to it for qualifying. As Dan just goes provisional pole. Speaking of Dan, he was your race winner, 69 times a race winner, Dan, here at SimPlay Motorsport. And that brings you 12 points within Fury. Good race win from yourself.
Yeah, needed to capitalise on as many points I possibly could in that race, and more importantly, needed to bring at least one win home for the Chevy and its home circuit. So that was task done. So yeah, definitely need to get back into this championship and really give Fury a headache now towards the end of the season.
Race win. It was a 1-2 for the Chevrolet. Give Chevrolet more podiums than the Lexus now. Home soil for the car. Does the car feel like it is pretty well round here? Obviously, Bathurst, it didn't seem that great in the wet compared to Donington, but Chevrolet home soil, does it seem like it suits the circuit?
Yeah, I think with this circuit you can abuse the curves quite a lot with it, and there's not really a lot of long straights to lose really out to the BMW and the Mercedes, so you can kind of just chuck it around, especially the corkscrew. I can really abuse the corkscrew. So yeah, I'm feeling quite confident in the Chevy. Not really many tweaks to it either. I've just gone out and dialed it in. That race I was running 16 seconds worth of damage as well, so it was doing the lap times even with damage. So yeah, it feels good around here when I actually pay attention and actually hit an apex.
Race 2, obviously it's going to be pretty tight. It's tight between you and Fury at the moment, 15 thousandths of a second. Can you get another race win? Can you really take this championship fight now to Joe?
My goal is to be at least on the front row, because if I'm at least on the front row, I can give him a hard time into turn 1. But pole position is an extra point, which is handy. Every point counts. We've seen that in the season with me and Andy going at it for my 3rd title in Pro. So every race, every point counts, and especially in these GT4s. And yeah, we just got to keep putting in the good lap times, annoy Fury as much as physically possible in this car, because it is a little bit handicapped with the straight line speed. But yeah, circuits that will suit this car, and we've got to capitalise as much as possible on them.
Indeed we have. Well, Dan, we'll let you get back to it. As PN, I believe we've lost a driver.
We've lost Louis.
There we go. We have lost Louis Adams. We're down to 9 drivers. Dan, clearly confident for tonight's second race, as his might seem pretty happy with the job they did in race 1. What do we think, though, PN? Because as Fury just goes pole by 6.5 tenths of a second, what do we think that Dan can realistically do in the second race?
Well, win it. To be honest, win it. Proves the Chevy can win around here. But it's got to be a nice ding-dong battle between him and Fury. Gloves will be off. It's for a championship, so, you know, got to go for it.
Yeah, indeed you have. As Mike gets within a tenth of unorthodox, Dan now comes towards the line. What will his lap time be as he crosses it? Oh, just under a tenth of a second. Now I've noticed that Smoky Devil is on a qualifying ban. Dr. Who is yet to qualify, as is Future Revenge. De Hoffner, though, 1.9 off the back of the pace at the minute, gets to the line now, goes back to 1.2. So pretty close between the top 4, really. 1.2 separating them. Tibbs yet to do a lap. He's coming to start his first flying lap. And DJ Phil is on his first flying lap now at the corkscrew, Phil.
Yeah, he is. Be interested to see what he can do on the Audi. Well, hopefully Louis can get back in, but... So we've got 10 cars again. As I'm trying not to cough still. I wish this came back.
Yeah, you've had that cough for a while now, to be fair. As DJ Phil rounds the final corner. Joe has invalidated his lap, so will not get another one in at the moment. DJ Phil coming towards the line now. Goes P5, 4.3 seconds off the pace. Dan into the corkscrew now. First apex, second apex. Oh, it really had a bit of a wiggle on the rear end there as it dipped through the corkscrew. And Dan really riding the curbs now. Penultimate corner. How does he take this one? As close to that sausage curb as he dares. Just a little wide on apex. That'll invalidate that one.
Yep.
Future Revenge. Wow, he's out for qualifying. There we go.
Well, even if you just put a time as 2 minutes, he'd still want to start with that. Oh, but
Fury unorthodox. We're just getting the pole ready for race 2.
Gonna have to find some Cavonia when I get. I can't
Love
get
a bit of Cavonia. Love a bit of Cavonia.
Or some Benelin. Yeah, there you go.
Now we're talking. Tibbs comes round the final corner. He is the man who's currently on an extra lap. What will his lap time be? It's down towards the start line he comes now. Here comes Exist Tibbs to the line anywhere. P4 at the moment. Good lap from him.
That is good lap. Good banker lap. Got plenty of time to get another couple laps in, to be
another
honest.
couple of laps in indeed. Fury's coming into the penultimate corner now. Fury flying here. Dan's going to want to come back out on track.
This is actually probably the shortest lap we have this season.
Yeah, it is. It is. 1 minute 30.
We don't have Brands, because Brands was about the same length, really.
Fury finds a bit more time. Sorry, Pian. Fury finds a slight bit of time.
Yep, Louis mentioning in Discord he don't know why he can't get back in. Wait until the session changes to the race, then he should be able to get back in. That's what normally happens because, you know, great game. PS4 version of ACC. Just wish it had the later updates.
Yeah, wish it had the other tracks and cars on it.
Oh, Valencia.
The American
Watkins
tracks.
Glen.
Yeah, Kota,
And
Indy.
coming
next year. Yeah.
Soon, 24, spring, summertime.
Oh, Tibbs off. Tibbs is off. He's had a big moment there.
He's facing the wrong way. He's returned to
73.
pits.
That is Doctor Who who's coming round. So what will Doctor
Hopefully
Who
Louis
do
back
here?
in. Is his car there? I can't select him. He's not quite in properly yet.
Yeah, we'll leave it a second. We'll just leave him to hopefully get in and get properly in as Doctor Who to the line goes 6th fastest. Fury's going to come to the line again. Is he going to improve on his current lap time that he's done?
Here comes Future Revenge. He's headed towards corkscrew. He's on a valid lap.
Fury to the line. Doesn't improve and actually clips the wall to start his next lap and has actually just spanned the car. So Joe, not on a lap time now.
Nope. It's Future Revenge here. No, he's gone off the road and invalidated his lap. As Louis in back in properly, he's just disappeared again.
He's probably got to wait till the end of the session.
Yeah, if he's in the stream and can hear us, wait until the end of the
I have just put on Discord what he needs to do.
So, those who tuned in last night and saw my surprise 5th place in the 296,
Good race for you, that. Stayed out of trouble. You know, kept your nose clean.
well, had a way with BMW kind of rejoin right in front of me, but I think he's had enough penalty points for 1 week.
Right, Doctor Who is the next car towards the line. What can he get done here?
I've got the Doctor Who theme going for my head.
Yeah, every time I say his name, it just pops up in my head as well. So.
And the first Doctor that I think of is David Tennant.
David Tennant, who's back as the Doctor, I believe, this weekend coming. I do believe it is.
He was back in Children in Need.
Oh, was it?
So
Oh, I missed it.
It was in Children in Need.
I'm going to have to watch it, and as future as Doctor Who stays P6. Next car on a valid lap, DJ Phil.
Oh, Phil, get pole.
4.3 seconds he needs to take pole.
On your D-pad. I hadn't used the D-pad since before the analog pad came out on the original PlayStation.
Talker 2, I think, the last time I played it on the PS3 version. Because Talker 2 still works on there.
I switched to analog. Future Revenge returns to the pits.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to get a lap time in.
No, Doctor Who is off on the run up towards corkscrew. DJ Phil did improve by a second.
Yeah, he did. De Hoffner's the next car to the line. And after De Hoffner, it is Peaceful Explosion, who is 8/10 off the back. De Hoffner's still 5th. Can Mike get within a bit more time here? Dan's not... I've not seen Dan back out. He's on an invalid lap. Fury stays in the pits. Mike does not improve. It's Tibbs next to the line. So what will Tibbs get done here?
In the matte grey Chevy?
Matt Grey, Matt Black.
More grey.
Oh, little wide Tibbs. Hangs on to it, though. Who's next one after him to do a lap? It's DJ Phil.
Yeah. Oh, no, Tibbs is supported.
No, Tibbs is backed out of it. Yep. So it will be DJ Phil, the next man to complete a valid lap time. Where's Dan coming towards the final corner now?
Oh, my leg hurt as well. I'm not having a good time this winter. I don't recommend getting old.
No. DJ Phil down through the corkscrew.
Don't touch that sausage curb, he hasn't. Oh, if you want to see the worst version of Laguna Seca, play the Crew 2.
Not a good one.
No, I posted a video of it. It is flat. Even the corkscrew's flat.
Lovely.
It's like, what?
Right, here comes DJ Phil. Is he going to improve on his lap time here? He's 3.9 off the pace. Can he gain on Joe? Joe's back out the pits. Oh, he does. 2.3.
He does
Go on,
improve.
DJ Phil. De Hoffner invalidated his lap. Then it'll be Mike. Who's next? Fury's back out there. He's coming towards the final corner now. Dan's on his lap.
Does Mike improve?
Does not.
Does not. Where's Dan? Dan's coming up to the corkscrew.
Dan's on, so everybody's on their final lap. Joe has only just got one last lap in here, so Joe has got to nail this lap.
Talk about squeaky bum time. With Joe,
Dan,
with that.
through the corkscrew. Can he find any more pace? He needs a 10th and a half here to take pole position away from Fury. Penultimate corner, done. He's just got to get out this final corner. What can he do as he comes through the corner? A lot of curb for Dan there. Back on the power now. Has he got enough to get that 10th and a half? Here comes Unorthodox towards the line. What's it going to be? Oh, no! So close!
Look like Fury's trying to take that extra point.
Wow!
And the gap goes back to 13. Fury's number.
That is incredibly close for Unorthodox. Heartbreakingly close, that is. When you think you can get the gap down to 11, and Joe's on a lap, so if Joe doesn't improve, what could have been? Here's DJ Phil, 2 temps. He gets ahead of Doctor Who. No improvement for him there. What about Mike? Let's not count Mike off. Mike only needs 8 tenths of a second here, by the way.
Yeah. In the Merc. As
Louis Allen, we think, might now
should
be
get in now.
Yeah. Mike in the Merc to the line. Any improvement? Finds 3 tenths of a second, so he goes within half a second. What about Fury? Did Fury improve at the very end? He did.
Yes, he did.
So it wouldn't have mattered for Dan. But wow, what a session that was.
What a close qualifier.
Yeah.
No, silly lap and one lap. Or no use of race tyres, like in Formula 1 year. That was a brilliant idea. One set of tyres had to last the whole weekend. That was a good idea, FIA.
So Fury opens up the gap once again. He's now on 23 pole positions, which means he needs 2 more poles for that 25th. We know Dan's on 3 wins. Fury now goes tied with M. Palava and Dean Wysocki and Andy on multiple achievements here. For BMW, it is pole position number 43. More importantly for Fury, it is 13 points the gap. And after tonight, depending on if Fury outscores Mike, the championship could be done. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, well, the championship could be done for Mike and for Dennis Newman, but we kind of knew that anyway. You know, Smokey's still got a long way to go before he's outscored. And obviously the gap's 13 points between the pair of them two. So this is going to be interesting. Pierre, who are you going for the race win?
It's either Fury or Dan. It's close.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I'd put the commentator's curse on them. Dan.
I'm going to give Mike a shout out.
Yeah, but I didn't want to curse Mike.
Yeah, but, you know, don't matter. You know, Dan and Fury wipe each other out, Mike wins race.
Could happen.
You know, could happen. Right, Louis Allen is in. Will be possibly a lap down if he hasn't readied up in time.
We'll find out in any second. He is not readied up in time.
He didn't ready up. So he's got to wait. He'll be a lap down.
It's probably the safest place bit in pit lane.
More than likely is. Obviously, the lap down's going to hurt, but with it being a 45-minute race, you know, it's not going to be too bad.
That threw everyone off, I think, when we had the double file roll on start last night in PS5.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, wait, we haven't done one of these since the test season. But at least Louis in the race and he's going to score points.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to score points.
Last.
He may not come last. No, he may not come last. He's going to score points, which will put him, you know, should keep him ahead of DJ Phil. It'll gain over, you know, the likes of Kishenyika, who's not here. Probably not going to gain over Tibbs. He's 11 points behind Tibbs, but Tibbs being 4th on the lead lap.
Put away from me because I'm in the comms box because I had to replace someone.
Yeah, exactly. Tracy in the chat says Tibbs for the win. If you like what we see, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We are going to be back live Wednesday evening. Again, apologies for the poor camera angles on the PS4 version. It looks like they have given up with the cameras for PS4 for the broadcasting. We will be back live, though, for, Pro-Am Wednesday night, provided we have 10 drivers. We'll be back live Thursday night at 8 PM GMT, provided we have 10 or more drivers, which I do believe we already have. And we'll be back live Sunday evening, PS5 version, where the cameras do work, for Imola. You will not want to miss that one. And I believe it's the final F1 this weekend, is it not?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
Is it this weekend?
It's either this weekend or next weekend. It's a logistic nightmare having all these major flyaway races.
Yeah, let's just talk about it briefly while they're on the formation lap. F1's trying to become more efficient and everything, but yet they've gone from America in recent weeks. They've gone from America to Mexico to Brazil, back to America. To then do the only American circuit I understand why it's there. I don't like the track, but is Miami. They can't race Miami this time of year.
Well, to be honest, I don't think we should race Miami at all.
No, I don't. But because it's on the calendar, they can't race Miami because of the time of year it is, because of the fact that it's round.
Move all the American tracks earlier in the season then.
Yeah, exactly. Because the reason they can't race Miami on the weekend at this time of year is because of the NFL, and it goes around the Miami Dolphin Stadium, the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium. Yep. It is this weekend, says Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy, where are you? You should be out on the grid. You could have scored points, got back in the top 20. Either way, we're about to go racing here. So yeah, that's why they can't race Miami at this back end of the season, because of the NFL, which obviously is priority for Americans. It's a good bit of football. Tibbs looks like he's got a good jump. Did he?
On the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Smokey's jumped him and Phil.
As Tibbs is going to look up the inside of Unorthodox down in towards turn one. Peaceful got jumped by Tibbs. Tibbs still looking up the inside of Dan here. Dan's not going to mind this from Tibbs. You know, he enjoys racing. A bit of contact made, though. Dan's been pushed wide. He rejoins the track now. Mike has to go around the outside of Dan, so that's put cars between Dan and Fury. Mike stays wide, though, and Dan gets back up the inside. So that is job done for Dan. He's now gone a little deep, as he's now got to hope that Tibbs can gain on Fury. De Hoffner's had a Doctor Who with DJ Phil Astley in the back of him. Smokey, then Future Revenge. Louis Allen out the pits, a lap down, but he's going to be able to catch back up, hopefully. Simon Blair says, good luck to the lads in the chat. Don't forget that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified when we go live. And hit that subscribe button. Phil's off on his own, PN?
On his own, yeah. There was no contact there, what I saw with him and Smokey.
And Fury already, by the way, nearly a second in the lead through Sector 1. He's now a second in the lead through Sector 2. But he had his own mistakes in the first race.
He was very early on the brakes into the corkscrew.
And Tibbs had a big wiggle through the corkscrew. Dan gets a better exit out the corkscrew. He's on the outside for the sweeping left-hander. Very wide on the marbles. Manages to bring it back in. Track temper's dropped 2 degrees since qualifying 2. And Dan wants to get clear of Tibbs to get on the back of Fury as quick as possible here.
Yep, that's Mike sitting there watching and waiting.
Yeah. He won't mind this one, Mike, as here comes Tibbs back down to Doctor Who. He's got Smokey Devil on the back of him. He was trying to stick to De Hoffner, but has lost out a little bit as they cross the line. And DJ Phil's tried to catch back up to Future Revenge here, but Dan putting pressure on Tibbs. Can Dan keep that tight line through 1 and 2 like Tibbs did to him at the start of the race? He bounces off the sausage curb. Where is Tibbs? Dan gets the move done. It's a good move from Dan.
It's a good move by Dan, and Mike's having a little look into turn 2.
He does. He had a little wiggle. Did Fury touch the gravel? I think Fury's hit the gravel trap. And Dan's now looking on the outside of Fury. Dan slightly on the gravel as well. That's going to compromise his run, and Tibbs is going to have a look. So Fury's made the mistake. Here comes Dan, side by side with Tibbs. Fury's made a mistake. He's gone a little wide and missed his apex here. Dan gets the better run through the left-hander. All of a sudden, it's 4 for the lead, pretty much. Nearly 5 if De Hoffner got on the back a bit more. And Fury just struggling in that BM a little bit early once again, like he did in the first race. And Dan trying to capitalise early. Tibbs having a look at the run at the corkscrew. Mike staying well out of this, as is De Hoffner. This could end in tears all early on the brakes. Tibbs even takes a different line to avoid the back of Dan and Fury, and we are all line of stern as we come through, but it is 5 for the lead at the minute, PM.
It is. We've got a battle right now, and there's only one person I've seen overtake through the corkscrew. That was Alex Sonardi in IndyCar back in like 99?
Was that before or after his crash?
Before his crash in 2001.
There we go. So Tibbs on the back of Dan, Dan on the back of Fury, Mike on the back of Tibbs. De Hoffner kind of on the back of Mike, so it's pretty close between the top 5. Dan's in that slipstream with the BMW. The BMW is just using its legs to just pull away ever so slightly, but Dan won't mind seeing Fury make them little mistakes. Dan knows he can ride that curb a lot more. Look at him ride them sausage curbs while Fury stays away from the others. Just dipping a wheel in the gravel was Fury there. Dan feels a little more confident, you think, through these corners than what Joe does, as Dan really being able to straddle these curbs.
Yeah,
oh, Tibbs is round!
Tibbs is round. He's taken out the brake marker, which really helps.
Smokey's got past Doctor Who. Future Revenge is going to get past Tibbs. DJ Phil is going to get past Tibbs. And Tibbs has tumbled from 3rd down to P9. DJ Phil's now going to have a look on Future Revenge. He pulls to the outside line. Who is going to break earlier? Future Revenge holds his line and defends it. Later on the brakes, I think it was Future Revenge. Phil, though, trying to hang it around that outside line. Is that going to work for him? No. Tuck's back in behind. What's happening out front? Fury's gapped down a little bit.
By 6/10. Mike's hanging in there in 3rd. Try not to off again.
DJ Phil coming up towards the corkscrew. Can he get past Future Revenge? Future Revenge defends that inside line of the corkscrew. I tell you what, Phil looks a little handy on the brakes, to be fair, in that Audi. He gets it stopped, gets it tucked down, and tries to get on the back of Future Revenge once again.
Well, if he's pressing square for his brakes, it's quite a quick reaction, really, isn't it?
Well, I know he's using the D-pad. I don't know what button he's using to accelerate and brake, but DJ Phil looking to the outside. Not looking bad, is DJ Phil here. He looks like he's got the bit between his teeth and trying to overtake Future Revenge here. And he can't get through. Dan's lost another 10th, though, out front at the start line. But look at Dan's being able to hold that title line compared to Fury.
Yeah, he's patient. Try the undercut again in the pits, perhaps.
Potentially, pit window opens in a couple of moments' time, so you just wonder if that's his tactic. Phil's still behind Future Revenge at the minute. This is the battle to watch so far. This is the closest fight. We'll keep our eyes on Dan and Fury's sector time.
Yeah, but I'll keep an eye on that, and while you keep an eye on Phil and Future.
Future just pulling a bit of a gap over Phil at the moment. And Tibbs is actually gaining on the back of DJ Phil, so Tibbs fancying this.
It's still about 6/10 of a second for the lead. Mike another,
Here
2
comes
seconds
Tibbs,
off the lead.
looking up the inside of DJ Phil. Phil breaks a little earlier. Tibbs gets the job done. I don't think Tibbs looks like he's got damage, so I think he's done that all on his own, this spin.
Dan's on the grass. Well, I'd say grass, dirt.
Dan really pushing these limits here, isn't he, to get this gap down to Fury?
Yeah, meanwhile Mike's watching that, rubbing his hands in glee.
Yeah, Dan went a little deep though at the final corner.
Because
So
that's
no
one
can
thing
do
you
there.
don't want. A drive-through for track limits.
Yeah, exactly. Tibbs now, well, we saw with Fury at Hungaroring, didn't we? Penultimate lap.
Yeah, that's one thing you really don't want to hear. It's quite a long pit lane for a drive-through as well.
Tibbs on the back of Future Revenge. Tibbs now in front of Future Revenge. DJ Phil trying to follow through. Doctor Who got within 6/10 of Smokey. Smokey's gone straight on at the Andretti hairpin then. And Doctor Who is through. So thank you, Mama, for the carrots, Doctor Who is saying. As Mike's within a second of Dan. Dan's within a second of Fury. Dan is really, really riding these curbs. He is straddling them a lot.
He is pushing harder when you're putting the stuffing in the turkey.
He needs points off of Fury, doesn't he? That's what he needs.
He does.
13 points the gap, and he could, he'll either lose 4 and it'll go back to 17, or he'll gain 4 and it'll go under 10 points.
He needs to get in front of Fury. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
It's
whether he can do it.
Yeah. Oh, he's really... Oh, no, he's around. He's facing in the wall.
He's in the wall. So Dan is in the wall. Peaceful's up to P2. De Hoffner's 3rd. Smoky Devil looks like he's going to try and get 4th. He gets it. Doctor Who. Is he going to take 5th place? So Dan pushing too hard, maybe. Actually stays up the inside of Doctor Who. DJ Phil has lost that massively to Future Revenge. So not sure what's happened there. But Dan...
Doctor Who's off on the grass for some reason. That was really weird. Like,
I'm just looking at Dan's stream next to me. Yeah, I think he just braked on the dirt as he was side by side with Dan. So, does Tibbs get past Doctor Who? No, but he gets closer. But for Dan, pushing just a little too hard.
Yeah, and dirty tyres now going off into the wall.
Oh,
the corkscrew.
Fury just had a bit of a wiggle, exiting the Andretti hairpin again, and that's made Mike a little interested. No way. What did I tell you?
When's the last time Mike won a race?
Oh, Cota, Project Cars 2, in the night. Can't remember what season, what year it was at all. Come on, Smokey, says Les Fernie in the chat.
It was probably before me even joined in SimPlay.
Yeah, I believe it was. Tibbs now gaining on the back of Doctor Who here. Tibbs all over the gravel. And a little wiggle there from Tibbs as he rejoins to the circuit, but peaceful. You know, if Joe keeps having moments, is this an opportunity for Mike to take a race win?
Maybe. Oh, Smokey's wide at corkscrew. Not Smokey, Fury. Fury's on the gravel. Fury's... Mike's past him.
Mike's past Fury. Apologies, we're watching the Tibbs fight. Mike has got past Fury. Fury's looking to the outside of Mike. Cannot get it done there. So Mike leads this race. Fury, couple of mistakes, couple of wiggles.
Now Mike's going to make that Merc as wide as a Ferrari Testarossa.
Track drops down to 33 degrees track temp, so it's down another degree. Here comes the BMW power against the Mercedes power. BMW pulls to the outside line. Can Mike hold that tight line? Fury's so late on the brakes. It's not really worked for him massively. Look, Mike's able to gap Fury a little bit. In fact, to tell you what, not massively, because Fury got it pulled back in to meet the corner. But the problem Fury doesn't need here is he doesn't need to make any mistakes trying to pass Mike.
Oh! There is a car in the middle of no man's land.
Yeah, and that is Louis Allen, apparently. And
he's just lagged out of a session. Yeah,
that is a lag.
That'd be why.
Hopefully Louis Allen can get back in, just to score 10th place points. Mike having wiggles, Joe having wiggles. De Hoffner's gained about a second already. Dan's made mistakes. Tibbs on the back of Doctor Who once again. But not close enough. We're going to stick with this Fury-Mike fight at the minute.
Does Fury be brave and go for it through the corkscrew?
No.
Again, you've got to be brave to overtake here.
I think what you've got to look at as well is he's gone deep, you know. He's gone very, very deep. What Fury's got to realise here is Dan's fifth, he's second. He's still taking a lot of points out of Dan.
But Fury will want to win.
Oh, what racing driver doesn't want to win?
Oh,
you know?
Exactly. Well,
Dan's just dropped down to 7th.
Has Dan gone off again?
I'm not sure.
He's sliding a lot. Has he got a puncher?
I wonder if he's got... No, he's not got puncher. I can see on his stream he's not got puncher. Fury now to the outside of Mike once again. The pit window will open at pretty much the end of the next lap for Dan.
Well, Mike's just got to park the car on the apex.
This race is wild, Benedict. You're right. Go Mike indeed, as Mike now parks the car on the apex. Joe's once again on the gravel. Little wiggle once more. Let's go back to Tibbs. He's lost a bit of time to Doctor Who. Fury wide on exit. Mike's just doing everything he needs to. The question is can Mike do this for 30 minutes?
Yeah, well, got to see what if Fury made contact with any wall and damaged the car slightly. As he's, that's a late defence by Mike. This is great racing.
Fantastic to see. Mike doing everything he can. A little wiggle mid-corner for Mike. Joe's going to have that outside line for the next corner.
Oh, is Fury got to be brave?
No, he's braked a bit earlier than Mike. Mike goes a little deeper, has a bit of a wiggle. That's get Fury the opening he needs up towards the corkscrew. Is Fury going to be in front? Who's going to be the car that brakes first? Mike on the outside. They brake at pretty much the same time. Mike, can he get it stopped and turned in? He can, but Fury gets the move done. Good move from Fury at the corkscrew. But he's now wiggling.
He's now wiggling, yeah.
I'll tell you what, each of these cars are having their own little moments here.
Yeah, Smokey's right with the Hoffner.
Oh, Fury's bounced off the curb. And Mike, round the outside of the final corner. Fury's still there. Mike has to go a little wider. Gets back on the power. Mike could do it coming across the circuit now. He's got a bit of a gap. De Hoffner and Smokey can see this fight. Smokey's on the back of De Hoffner now. Pit window open. And Dan doesn't pit. He could have done, but he didn't. Smokey passes De Hoffner. Mike defends from Fury once again. And Smokey Devil's all of a sudden in this race fight.
Game on, Smokey.
Massively game on Smokey Devil.
Yeah. Something's happened to Phil because he's now 6 seconds off the Back to Future Revenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tibbs is still behind Doctor Who. No, we've
got
a four-way fight.
Mike's off.
Oh, he's around.
He's got big damage. And Smokey's going on the inside of Fury here. Nope, Fury hangs on to it. Mike has got some big damage here. Doctor Who's through. No, he's not. Tibbs isn't through either. Dan's gaining on the pair of them two.
Smokey's having a look.
And Smokey's now going up the inside of Fury. Smokey gets through. He's looked a little lungy. Well, Smokey gets past Fury now. And Fury... Did Fury and Mike touch then?
Oh, they might have done. I don't know.
I didn't see much of it.
Front of the cars. I wish I could see the front of the car.
And poor old Mike, he's got some bad damage. I bet he'll go into the replays.
I am going to the
There we
replays,
go.
yeah.
Fury to the outside of Smoky Devil. Is anybody going to pit this lap? I imagine Mike will pit this lap. Smoky Devil doesn't. Fury doesn't. Is Fury going to think sending one on Smoky? No. Smoky stays in the lead of this race. Over the curb goes Joe. Looks like he gets a better exit than Smoky, but was it? No, I don't think it was in the end. De Hoffner stays out. Mike straight in. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. That could be tight. Dan stays out. He's on the back of Tibbs and Doctor Who here, and they're having their own little scrap. Future Revenge is way ahead of DJ Phil. And Fury still sat behind Smoky Devil at the moment. So Fury in the thick of things so far.
I'm still watching the replay, see what happened between, if there was contact between Fury and Peaceful. But what a race too we're having here in GT4.
Yeah, what a race too. As Dan's getting in on the back of Tibbs. Tibbs is on the back of Doctor Who. Fury's to the outside of Smoky Devil. Left-hander before they go uphill. Smoky manages to keep that inside line. Joe's trying to hang it around the outside. And tell you what, this could be a fantastic move from Fury if he can keep it here. He's just got a car in front of Smoky Devil. But Smoky's got the inside line for the next part. Bounces off the curb. Oh, it's Fury.
Oh.
Dorfner leads the race.
Right, now coming up to what happened previous lap. Mike was on the grass. Mike lost it all by himself.
Right, there
on
we
the
go.
grass.
Or Smoky and Fury make contact. That's huge damage potentially for Fury. So yes, Dan may have some damage, but Fury as well is going to have damage to look at.
We did touch, but only because of my wiggle. Loads of damage, nothing Fury could have done.
Fair enough then from Mike. De Hoffner stays out. Fury straight in. Smoky straight in. Doctor Who, oh, nearly gets clattered by the oncoming Chevrolet of Tibbs. Dan also in the pits. This is going to be interesting to see who's got the damage. Mike has done his pit stop. He's only just exited, but is not a lap down, crucially.
No, as Tibbs and Doctor Who are still side by side, heading towards the Andretti hairpin.
Fury, by the way, not that much damage, to be fair. Only 33 seconds worth of damage to Fury's car. Just looking at Dan's stream to see what Dan's damage is at the moment, who misses his pit box. I think that's because of our cars. Dan gets lifted now. Dan's only got 30 seconds, so Dan could gain a couple of seconds over Fury here. Smoky is well in the pits, as is DJ Phil. This is going to be interesting. We're watching Tibbs and Doctor Who, though, fight it out. 28 minutes left of this race. PN, 9 cars on the track, but plenty of drama.
Plenty of drama. Maybe we should stream, man, because there's like 8 cars so far tomorrow night.
That's why we did the PS5 stuff, so that we didn't... we was pulling the hamstring, if you remember.
Well, then again, though, we could put them 8 drivers if they can do Wednesdays into Wednesdays.
Right, Dan's away, Fury's away, Smoky's away, Fury's off the limiter, Smoky's off the limiter. Dan is closer to them than what he was before. He's off the limiter now. DJ Phil's in the pits. Tibbs still chasing down Doctor Who. Oh, has to avoid him.
Tibbs, that was late. That was late.
Yeah, and he gives Doctor Who the place back. Right, De Hoffner stays out. He's nearly lapping Mike. Mike should hopefully pull away from De Hoffner. That's what he'll be hoping. Track's down to 33 degrees. What will Doctor Who and Tibbs do? DJ Phil is now away. He's not yet off the limiter. Mike is going to get past DJ Phil. Doctor Who stays out. Tibbs comes in. What about Future Revenge? Dan's ahead of Fury and Smoky.
Somehow.
So what have the BMWs done? Because Dan's 4 seconds up the road from Fury now.
Yeah. Where's Dan come from? He was facing the wall at the corkscrew several laps ago.
Wow, oh wow.
Maybe the Chevy gets his tyres switched on quicker than the BM and... Well, the BMs are Smoky and Fury. It'll be interesting to see where Tibbs comes out after his pit stop, whose pit box is also blocked by our KTMs because he's the car in front of mine.
Tibbs still in the pits at the minute. We're just watching Dan so far while there's no other fights on track at the moment. Smoky's lost 4 seconds to Joe, and Joe's lost 4 seconds to Dan. I'm very surprised that Mike's only 13 seconds off the back. Smoky, Tibbs still not moving yet. Dan's at the final corner. Dan was on the rear wing of Tibbs as Tibbs was entering the pits. Again, look, undercut. So something big has happened to Fury here, because can Fury get past Tibbs as well? He should be able to. Tibbs is off the limiter now. Yes, Fury should get ahead of Tibbs. Dan already has. And the question is, coming into Andretti hairpin. Joe needs to get this right. He can't afford any mistakes here as Tibbs breaks into it as well. He'll have a bit of a shorter route, a bit slower though than Joe. Joe will stay ahead. Tibbs will stay in front of Smoky Devil. And Mike will be behind the pair of them. So Future Revenge. De Hoffner stays out. Doctor Who now reacts to Tibbs. So if Dan has jumped Fury, we imagine he's going to jump Doctor Who.
Yeah. At the speed. Oh, Doctor Who was broadside in ran for tight pit entry. Absolutely broadside.
Well, what a fantastic race this has been. And I tell you what, at the moment, so Dan lost a point to Fury. If it stays as it is, Dan will gain 2 back. So Dan will have the gap down to 11 points if it stays as it is at the moment in terms of the result. Fury's lost more time to Dan. Tibbs is only 2 seconds off the back. Is this Chevrolet a little better than the BMW? Smokey's 1.5 off the back of Tibbs. If Fury's having his moments that he's been having, and Tibbs puts a car between him and between Fury and Dan, that is what Dan needs. Dan's coming to the penultimate corner. Doctor Who's not yet away. At the minute, I tell you what, this is anybody's race.
It is anybody's race. Everyone's made little mistakes, but a lot of little mistakes all add up.
Doctor Who now away. He's moving down the pit lane. Danny's going to sail past him. Fury exits the final corner, gets back on the power now. He should easily get away. The question is, what about Tibbs to Doctor Who? Smokey's right on that rear wing of Tibbs. Fury gets through. Doctor Who's off his limiter. Here comes Tibbs. He should get past him. We go on board with Doctor Who now, who is close to the pit wall, gets through it. Where is Tibbs? Tibbs hasn't emerged. Is Doctor Who ahead of Tibbs?
I think he is.
Yes, he is.
He is ahead.
Tibbs is being pressured by Smoky Devil. So Doctor Who, good pit stop there. So now for the championship, Dan's going to gain 3 points over Fury. Gap would be down to 10 at the moment.
Right. From chat, from Tony, Fury's granddad. Fury said he dropped it on pit exit and couldn't get it going, so him and Smoky made contact.
So more contact between him and Smoky. So Fury could be carrying damage, which is why he's struggling. Smoky has a little wiggle. Doctor Who doesn't have the best of corners. And we're on board with Smoky watching Tibbs get past Doctor Who. That is job done there. Oh, watch the sausage curb, Doctor Who, as he gets over it and through it. As the top two stay out on track. 11 minutes left to pit window with Dan. 4.2 clear at the minute.
Yeah. That was an interesting line.
Job done, middle of the corkscrew.
Louis has not come back, so...
No, I think that's possibly a disconnection through. There'll be no points, but, you know, it was definitely not a retirement. We could see his dot was flying all over the place.
His dot was in the middle of the circuit in the infield.
It's not a retirement. It is just...
He was visiting the fans, having a burger and a beer.
Right, so Joe to Dan, 4.2 seconds.
Does De Hoffner peel into pit lane? He does.
He does. So De Hoffner pits.
Does Future Revenge also pit?
To know yet, he's at the corkscrew. Dan's coming through sector 1. Dan's a full sector behind De Hoffner at the minute. Don't forget, if you like what you see here, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that bell to be notified when we are live. We'll be back live Wednesday evening at 8 PM GMT for the Pro-Ams. We'll be back live, hopefully, we'll be back live Pro. I believe Pro is confirmed. That'll be at 8 PM GMT as well, as we'll be live for that one. And we'll be back Sunday evening at Imola for the PS5 series. Future Revenge stays out. Fury's within 4.1 of Dan. Mike's gaining on the 3 in front.
Good pace in that, Mark. Very good pace.
As well, don't forget, check out the links of our sponsors in the description. Audio Sport and Design Manchester. As De Hoffner, not yet away. Dan comes round to the penultimate corner now. Dan could do with a car between himself and Fury.
He could do with a car between himself and Fury. Fury has closed the gap a little bit this lap.
Yeah, he's gained a bit more. De Hoffner now is away, but he's not going to be in Fury or Dan's way. So Dan will go to second. That'll give him 31 points at the minute. Fury will score 27. So that is now a 4-point gap. So Dan will have the gap down to 9. It will also be a 4-point gap if Dan wins the race and Fury gets second. Fury gains another 3/10 in the final sector. So did Dan repair his damage at the pit stop?
If he didn't really have a lot of damage, what you said, didn't you?
It said it were only 30 seconds, so either didn't have a lot of damage, or he unticked it and didn't repair it. That's going to be the biggest question. Fury 3.6 now. She's gained another 10th in Sector 1. Doctor Who has come out behind Peaceful Explosion. So he's down in 8th place at the moment.
Yep. So Peaceful fighting back. Had to place Peaceful this week in the GT4s.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, to be fair, he has. He's done all right.
Future Revenge still hasn't pitted. He's the last car to pit here at Laguna Seca, or WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, to give its full name now.
So Fury's got the gap down to 3.3 to Dan. Future Revenge stays out. De Hoffner's been in 2.5 for Tibbs. Smokey's been in 3.3. Mike's got the gap down to 7 seconds to Smokey. So Mike's slowly bringing the gap down to Smokey Devil.
Yeah.
There's Les Fernie in the chat. Amazing race. Absolutely. Just died down since the pit stops, but I do believe we're going to be in for a absolute gargantuan battle at the end of this race.
I think Fury is trying to get Dan. He's
going to be
really
close.
It is going to be really close.
It's 3.2. Just depends if Fury has some more of these wiggles and what damage
Fury's
Fury's
on the grass now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's gained a 10th, but that was pretty much at the sector line. And the thing is now for Fury, you know, he's got to now push the car to keep Dan, you know, to hunt Dan down. So, yeah, 19 minutes remaining of this race. What a fascinating end to the end of this it could be. Oh, that's a sausage curb. Joe pushing his luck a little bit here.
He is.
Mike's got 5.7, so Mike is flying at the minute, can we just say?
He is, yeah.
As Future Revenge stays out again.
Peaceful Explosion driver, contender for driver in the day, pretty much.
For me, yeah, I'd happily say that, yeah, at the moment. I think, or Tibbs.
Or Tibbs, yeah.
Or Tibbs, I think Tibbs has had a good, because at the minute, Tibbs is a net P3, and it would have been a double podium for him.
Of course, they got the top two.
Smokey's had a moment. Just on board Mike. Smokey sideways at the corkscrew. Doctor Who may get through here. Must have been all on his own. So no, Doctor Who doesn't get through. DJ Phil's nowhere near, but Smokey, what damage does he have? It's not going to let me put a poll out for driver of the day, because I'm trying to end the poll of race 2 winner. But it's not letting me do that. Oh, it has now, I believe. There we go, yes. Right, so we're going to drive the day poll up shortly. Gap out front, 2.6.
Yep, Fury is coming.
So Joe's coming. Future Revenge still yet to pit. Mike now 8.8 off the back of De Hoffner. He'd love to get on the back of De Hoffner here.
Yeah, well, Mike would love to get back in the top 5 at least.
Well, he's technically net 5th place, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because I believe he'll jump Future. Who's pitting now. So Dan's 25 seconds behind.
Fury's made a mistake. He's lost.
Yeah, gap's gone back up. Yeah, gap's gone back up. It was 10 seconds to Tibbs. So let's see what the gap is to Tibbs now. Down to 9.3. So yeah, he's lost a second and a bit, I reckon, somewhere. So Dan is going to pass Future Revenge. Future Revenge only just stopped. So I reckon Mike's going to get Future Revenge. Future Revenge may come out behind Doctor Who here. Maybe close to DJ Phil, to be fair.
As Fury Revenge the final corner. Does he close the gap a bit again?
No, loses another 0.3. So Joe just losing a little bit of time at the moment.
Or the 6-time champion has turned everything on now.
Yeah, potentially so. Right, gap Mike to De Hoffner, 8.1. Has Mike gained any more time? He's going to pass Future Revenge now. 8.1 was the gap Mike to De Hoffner. 7.7. So Mike absolutely charging. Future Revenge is away, by the way. And we said he'd be closer to DJ Phil. Because here comes Future Revenge. Yeah, here comes Doctor Who. He goes past. Yeah, all right, Future Revenge is off the limiter. DJ Phil's only round in the final corner now, but he's not really close enough to Doctor Who to do anything. And it's a casual exit to the pit lane here for Future Revenge. DJ Phil is coming. Gap back down 2 Fury to down.
Still 16 minutes of this race to go. Anything can happen. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I could do this YouTube stuff too. Now all the gaps are pretty much strung out. Apart from
Yeah, a
Peaceful
little
slow.
strung out. We're watching the gap of Peaceful to Duffin and Fury to Dan. Obviously, it's down to 4.2. This is for the championship lead. So Dan will gain 4 points here. That'll put Dan 9 off the back of Fury with 213 points to play with.
As we head to Suzuka.
Yeah. In
Where
which
there
you'd
might
imagine the
be-
Chevrolet may have the upper hand over the BMW. 4 seconds is the gap.
Track temps just dropped another degree.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the weather for Suzuka, actually. I'm trying
It
not to use
might-
BBC weather. I'm using AccuWeather for PS5. So Yokkaichi is the closest place I can find for for Suzuka. At the minute, it is 10% chance of rain, sunny and moderate breeze.
Temps, roughly.
12 degrees.
Oh, we might
So
have what we had
in fact, no, sorry. It's an evening race, isn't it? Apologies.
It's an evening race, yeah.
So what time would
it's
that
like
be?
8 in the evening, wouldn't it?
8 in the evening. Again, still 10% chance, but 10 degrees track temps.
That's got to be cold.
And then where do we go after that? We go to the
Nürburgring.
Nürburgring.
In the dark.
Is it in Nuremberg?
No, completely different place.
Where's it in?
Nürburgring is in West Germany, quite close to the Belgian border.
Let's have a look, shall we?
It's probably a village called Nürburg. Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
because you've got the Nürburg Castle, haven't you? And Mullenbach, one of the villages in there. As Matt looks for the weather for what?
I am looking
It's
for
probably going to be raining. Come on. It's Nürburgring.
it is just Nürburg.
Nürburg, yeah, it'll be Nürburg. It won't be Nuremberg because Nuremberg.
Nothing is coming up for that.
I'll have a look in a little while.
So we look for the closest place.
Have Google Maps open at the same time. Type in the Nürburgring so you can find the nearest village or town, major town. As the lead gap is now to 3.8 seconds. Mike is within 7 seconds now of De Hofner.
Yeah, 3.8 for Joe. So gap's coming down. Joe's
As you
flying at the
continue-
minute. I tell you what, I'll let Mike do the hard work of looking for the weather.
We're just got to
lad,
look for Imola for Sunday.
Yeah, I'm already keeping my eyes on that.
And then Donny on the following Sunday. I could probably pretty much tell you what Snetton's one be like.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from Donny, so I can pretty much tell you that, to be fair. Looking at Imola, as Joe just runs a little wide.
Mike's 6.2 behind De Hofner.
So if we're looking at Imola at the moment, and we're looking for Sunday at midday, at the minute,
Yeah, 'cause
it looks, pretty all right. 12 degrees, but we've obviously said that we're going to up the track temp because of ACC not going that low. DJ Phil's within 2. In fact, DJ Phil's past Future Revenge, so 2/10 it said DJ Phil was behind him. And we go aboard DJ Phil, he's no
in
longer
front.
2/10. Fury, 2.4 behind Dan. Fury's just gone very, very wide and off, so he's lost a lot of momentum there.
Yeah.
Mike, 5.6 to the Hofner.
Imola's meant to be quite cool but dry, isn't it?
There is a 0% chance of, rain. Cloud cover, 0% as well, so
It's
yes,
looking quite a nice
it
day.
looks just a clear day for Imola. Clear but cold. I think
but
at Imola for a midday race. Obviously, we go to Donington. That'll be an evening race. Snetterton will be a night race. That should be fantastic. Snetterton in the dark.
Those who are old enough to remember the old Will Hire 24-hour race, how I happened went to another 24-hour race
Well, the
back in August.
VTCC did
The night
a night race,
didn't
yeah, because
Yeah,
they
I
had
went with them
the
as well.
special paint jobs on the cars, didn't they?
they? Yep, I went to them as well
Where's
in my youth. I've bit my fingernails down.
I tell you what, it's a good job we're not racing anywhere in Zurich next week. Not that there's a track in Zurich, but geez, snowing
No,
like mad.
because circuit racing's banned in Switzerland.
It's actually not anymore. They have unbanned it.
Because they originally banned it after the tragic
after a
accident
crash
at
Le Mans, I do
1955 Le Mans.
Yeah. Switzerland as a country banned it, which I didn't find out till the beginning of this year. And then later this year, obviously, we're working Racing Unleashed. They have unbanned it, apparently. So Swiss can have motorsport in the country now, which is great to see. Les Fernie, I've bit my fingernails down. He says in the chat, it's been a cracking race. Mike's now within 3.9 of De Hoffner, although he has just gone a little deep at turn 1. Back on the pole now. Fury's gaining on Dan once again, but the problem Fury's had tonight is he's had one too many mistakes.
Yeah, he's like trying to ride the curbs like the Chevy can, but the Beamer is
He's since he's been behind Dan, every time he tries to catch Dan, he then seems to make a mistake like Dan did.
Yeah.
Well, he's 3.3 behind. Mike is charging on to Hoffner. 8 seconds to Hoffner is to Tibbs. Tibbs, oh, he's off at the minute. Actually, on his approach up to the corkscrew, manages to rejoin and get back on. So de Hoffner may gain a bit of time here, but not a massive amount. Tibbs is 16 seconds behind Fury.
Mike can see the car in front. The magnets are on.
He wants to pull that car in. Mike would love a third and a fourth tonight. That's good points for him. In fact, he's only 24 off the back of Dennis Newman. So what would fifth place give him at the moment? He'd give him 22, so he'd be right there with Dennis Newman going into next week at Suzuka.
And hopefully Dennis might be back next week for GT4s. He's down as confirmed for Pro-Am though.
I mean, he was confirmed for tonight, but obviously with everything that we know that went off for Dennis, it might just be taking it by day and seeing how he is on that day. Do you know what I mean? So, Dennis, if you are watching, we hope you get better soon. Mike's got the gap down to 3.2. Fury has the gap down to 2.7.
But we've been here before. And as
the difference is as well now, Fury's got the gap down to 2.7, but there's 9 minutes left. So, all of a sudden, every second that ticks away for Fury, that pressure of gaining that 2.7, then passing in that 2.7, all of a sudden becomes even bigger.
And of course, as a once great commentator said, catching is one thing, but passing is quite another.
Yep. Murray Walker, legend.
Yep.
Mike's got the gap down to 2.7.
Well,
Fury's got the gap down to
Ledyard.
2.1. That might have been him from Racing on this show.
It definitely would have been Jonathan Ledyard.
Fabio Vettiger. Fabio, if you're watching, good evening. I've started pulling Fabio up on his race results from last season. Sat there at the weekend.
This looks less than 2 seconds.
It does look less than 2 seconds. Dan crosses the line. Fury crosses the line. It's 1.6. So Fury is charging. Mike at the last second time had the gap down to 2 seconds. So Mike and Fury on a real charge at the minute.
Yep. Game on.
Fury's running out of laps now.
And time. That's the only thing you will always chasing this time.
Gap stays at 1.6 through sector 1. Oh, Dan actually ran a little wide. Fury follows. So nothing gained there for them two. Mike, 2.3. So he's lost a bit of time through the corkscrew.
Yeah, I'm not watching Mike, just in case. But I could see his dot on the mini-map. So.
I'm kind of flicking between both. 1.6 is the gap Fury to Dan. Up towards sector 2 timing screen. What is it now? It's 1.4, so Joe gains 2 more tenths. But the problem is that's another lap that Dan can chalk off, and Dan will know how to defend around here.
Yep, and Dan will be quite a tough customer to pass.
He was at Hungaroring, if you remember. Now, the Hungaroring, a little bit more of a trickier circuit to overtake, as Mike has to get around 2/10 through sector 1. What's he going to be at sector 2? So Hoffner here doing a cracking job. I must tell you, Dr. and Hoffner coming late into the season, but both very good drivers, both in AM and in Pro. And Mike's got the gap down to 1.5 seconds, so pretty even between Dan and Joe and Mike and De Hoffner.
Yeah.
What do you make of De Hoffner and Doctor Who, by the way, since coming in? Good drivers.
I kind of like they weren't in AM, so I good bit of results. It's when they both turn up, it's like, well, I'm not getting a podium now. I kind of like a future Avengers number or Baraba because I'm very evenly placed with Baraba to be able to slam back first.
Yeah.
Same with Danlick.
How do you feel around here in the Bentley as Joe takes another 2/10 out to Dan through sector 1?
I haven't really tested. I've just
there we
done
go.
some because of having to do the PS4 stuff, PS5 stuff as well in the Ferrari.
Mike loses a couple of attempts to the Hofner there. Excuse me. So he's gone back to 1.7. Joe, though, 1.2. 6 minutes remaining. Oh, how's your nerve?
How's your nerve? Just put a bit of tape over where the mirror is or turn it off like Max Mulder.
It's 8 tenths, PM.
It's on, isn't it? It is on.
Mike's got the gap down to 1.4. But we said it'd get interesting towards the end of this race. Well, this is going to be a frantic 5 minutes. Tibbs sitting in a comfortable P3.
No one near Tibbs at all. He's having a Sunday
Mike
drive.
has a bit of a wiggle. Dan through the final corner. A lot of curb there for Dan compared to Fury, but you just see that Dan's car can ride them curbs a lot better than Fury's. And the gap is still 8 tenths. Dan's car's got to be the widest Chevy ever.
It's not Corvette.
Through the Andretti hairpin. Mike, 1.3 off the back of De Hoffner now. So Mike's coming.
Tighter line with Fury.
Future Revenge, by the way. 2 seconds off the back of DJ Phil. There's 3 little fights developing here.
Don't have enough screens to watch it.
The bonus Dan's got is he's catching Future Revenge and DJ Phil.
Yeah, he can throw them cars up at Fury. But will they just split out of the way?
Will they move for both? Yeah. See,
So
Future Revenge could play that tactically with letting them go and then following them through. And as Phil stops to slow down to let them both through, Future Revenge gains on Phil.
No, because
half a second's the gap. Mike's got the gap down under a second. Future Revenge got the gap down to 1.3. So 3 little fights happening here, but it's the one for the lead that we're watching. It's the one for the championship as well that is the interesting one.
When they cross the line, there'll be about roughly 3 laps to go.
No, 130 a lap. Potentially. Well, what they're doing, 130. Yeah, 130 is Joe's doing, Dan's doing. So, yeah, potentially 3 to go. It's just going to depend. Joe's on the back of Dan. Mike is gaining on the back of De Hoffner. Dan, is he going to cover the inside line? Joe has a look. Dan comes across and defends his line. Future Revenge within half a second of DJ Phil. Oh, they are going to start scrapping as the leaders are scrapping.
Yep, this is going to get either really excellent or messy.
There you see Future Revenge attacking the back of Phil. Fury has a big slide out of Sector 1. Loses a 10th to Dan. Just a wheel on the gravel. That'll give Dan some breathing space. Future Revenge still looking to fight DJ Phil. He's got a good run out the corner as Future Revenge. Pulls out now. Phil thinks they're coming around to defend from him. Future Revenge is going to make that corner so narrow for himself. Nearly bounces off the sausage curb. He's on the gravel. He's span. Future Revenge is around and Dan and Fury both through. Oh, that would have been a heart-in-mouth moment.
They might need a change of overalls.
Yeah.
And sim rig.
Some new undercrackers for Dan and Fury there. But they've still got to clear DJ Phil, who's right there in front of the pair of them.
Fury was on and off the brakes a little bit there, behind Dan.
Oh, was that a little twitch, or was that Fury jinking left and right just to get up the inside and try and put Dan off? Dan will know Fury's tactics. He's to have raced each other enough for them to know each other's tactics. Mike, 3 tenths on the back of De Hoffner. No, he's not. He's past De Hoffner, so Mike's got through. We've missed that one. Apologies. Future Revenge dropped a long way behind, by the way, because he's only at the gone through the penultimate corner. Fury to the outside. DJ Phil just leaves the circuit. Does not want to be in this way. Fair play to Phil for just moving.
He nearly went around because there used to be a row at the circle that went from the hairpin to the other corner.
Joe nearly into the back of Dan there. Dan just drops a wheel on the gravel, the dirt. There should be 2 laps left. This one and one more. So Dan's got 2 laps to hang on. Joe has a moment. That'll give Dan just a little bit of breathing space.
You know, I haven't seen an optimum track condition for so long. It's a bit, what was it? Wet at Bathurst.
Wet at Bathurst, greasy or
Wet-
damp or whatever, and wet at Donny.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks.
I don't know what it got to on the PS5 stuff on Sunday.
Got to optimum. It got to optimum.
Do we gotta have a look at the first part of the corkscrew? No.
Tell you what, Tibbs has a big moment here. Mike could be on the podium. I think it's whoever gets that last podium spot between Mike and Tibbs for driver of the day for me. But we are going to get one more lap in it here. And it's the same top four as it was race one. So I think that's only fair for the audience to vote for them as the driver of the day. I know who I'm going to give mine to. Leaders on the final lap. De Hoffner's dropped right off the back of Mike. Fury's got one lap to get past Dan, and Dan is not going to be an easy man to get past.
Nope, not at all. How's everyone's nerves? Do they have any fingernails left in chat? Let us know.
Dan misses his apex, but manages to hold Fury at bay. Fury, big wiggle. Oh. Fury on the gravel a little bit there.
In an IndyCar?
Yeah. Yeah. Fury's having a look on Dan. Dan's car looks a little twitchy. Time is up. Fury gets a good run up the hill. He's got to go the longer way round than Dan, though.
Does he get the cut back like he did on Mike earlier?
I don't know if he has. I think he has. He's got a little bit of momentum as Fury, as they come up the hill towards the corkscrew. Dan is still in front. Fury's going to have that inside line. Fury breaks so much later than Dan. Does he get it stopped? He does. Manages to get it up the inside of an orthodox. He's had a bit of a wiggle, though, coming through. Down towards the penultimate corner. Fury's led this race in the corkscrew. Has he just took the race win? Will he extend it to 17 championship points? Fury has been coming and coming and coming at Dan. He's just got to get one more corner right. Both on the gravel a little bit. Will Dan send it? He's got to look for a lunge!
He does send it. Does he get
and Fury gets the cutback! Fury gets the cutback! He sees Dan coming! Dan had to try it! And Fury is going to take a race win right on the last lap. What a race from Fury and Dan there. Brilliant stuff to see from the pair of them. That was absolutely fantastic from both Dan and from Fury there.
Very close. Both of them had to go for it. Can't
Joe went for it. No, Dan went a little wide just before the corkscrew. DJ Phil has finished P8. Tibbs has finished P3. Mike's coming across for P4.
Good drive by Mike.
Yeah, good drive by Mike. We'll come back after that big damage earlier on. De Hoffner, P5. Good drive for De Hoffner. Smoky
P6.
Devil, P6.
What could have been if they...
Yeah. Yeah. So the gap, PN, 17 points. It's a 3-horse race. Mike is tied with Dennis Newman, by the way.
Looking from behind the sofa.
Tibbs goes up to 6th. Future Events up to 8th. De Hoffner's a point behind yourself.
Well, I don't count.
As we just await Doctor Who to come around the final corner. But that then is another race win for the BMW. That gives BMW its 92nd podium. That gives Fury his 48th race win. He is 2 wins away from 50.
Second person to go past 50, wouldn't he?
It will be, yeah, after Dan. What a result. We hope we can get the top 2 in for a quick chat. What a race that was by Dan and Fury. And PN, you have to say for Dan there, he had to lunge at the final corner. He had to look at it.
He had to go for it. You've got no choice. There's a title on the line. And the more points Fury scores, the further ahead he's going to get. As we are joined by Fury.
We are joined by Fury. We'll just give it a few more moments. PN, final thoughts from yourself and your driver of the day, please.
My driver of the day, well, I'm going to have a tied one between Tibbs and Mike.
Yeah.
Because they drove brilliantly, well, apart from Mike having a bit of a wet and hitting the wall. But that's normal.
Yeah.
That is, and yeah, that was great racing. Let's see what Am's like tomorrow night. Oh wait, but no one will see it streamed.
It was a fantastic race. I'm going to give my vote to Tibbs outright. I think Mike did brilliant, but I think the 2 podiums for Tibbs, I'm going to give it Tibbs. It's boring when these two, fighting at the front. You've got to give it other people at times, But exactly. What a race. We're joined by Dan and Fiore now. And Dan, first question, did you repair damage in the pit stop?
What do you think?
No.
No.
Right. Is that what was affecting your pace at the end of that race?
Not particularly. No, just that BMW is stupid. It's just OP. Even with it carrying damage, it's just ridiculous. So there's not really much I could have done, to be honest. I just made one little error, and Fury got a nose up the inside, up to the corkscrew. And fair play to him. He sent it, and he just needed one mistake. And like I said, that BMW is ridiculous, mental. I should have gone McLaren this season, but hey, it is what it is.
You made that lunge at the very last corner as well. You looked to try and get the place back. It was almost like one of them, you had to give it a try.
Well, when it comes to the end of the season and we get to Mazzano and it's points at the end of the season where it's like down to one lunge or one moment, you're going to look back to yourself and go, oh, what if I sent it at Laguna? What if I done it there? What if I done it there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the Chevy's very good on the brakes. I mean, probably the best on the brakes. So I knew I could get it stopped, but I was trying to play-o it and try and hold him on the apex, but Fury already had me, and I think he'd learned a couple of lines before that I was taking quite a bit of curb, and I think he learned that you could kind of abuse it a bit, and he just snuck up the inside and got me. So, fair play to him, and I really am trying my hardest to slow him down, but it's really, really difficult.
Well, you come away tonight still gaining points over Fury. It was 23 at the beginning of the night, the gap. You leave here, the gap being 17 points. So you do claw a few back. Obviously, we go to Suzuka, Nürburgring, Misano. There's 6 races up for grabs. Still plenty of points. You're still in this, and knowing you like I do, I'm sure you're going to give this a good go.
Oh, definitely. So, I mean, Fury's not going to get away with it that easy. I'm going to make him work for it, Probably the hardest championship he's ever going to fight for. I really don't know what to expect from the Camaro at the next couple of rounds. Maybe Nürburgring, it should be very good. I can abuse curbs there quite a lot, especially in the final sector. So I think Nürburgring, this car could be very good. Suzuka, on the other hand, I think I'm going to struggle, if I'm honest. So we'll see what happens. And I need this boy to slow down, to be honest. He's just too good when it comes to race day.
He is too good on a race day. Dan, congratulations tonight. Well done on the P2 and the P1. We are going to jump to Fury. I got it wrong. That is Fury's 49th race win. So he is 1 race win away from that magical 50. Joe, you waited for that one error. You got that one error. And you won the race with 5 corners to go. Just talk us through it.
Honestly, with the damage I got, 8.5 seconds, I didn't think I was going to be able to catch up to Dan. The car wasn't like him breaking into turn 2 or 3, and I was just settle for it. But I kept doing it mid-30s. I was like, okay, so it's still doing the lap times I need it to. Dan was struggling a little bit, knew he was understeering. I was like, right, time to capitalize. Just kept trying to do consistent laps, kept making a couple of mistakes, but
let me ask you a couple of questions about your race. You look like you made a few mistakes early on. Mike got past you. You seem to get back ahead. You made a few more mistakes. Smokey got past you. Looks like you and Smokey are side by side up the hill. He's bounced over the sausage curb, which has clipped you. Then talk us through the pit exit, because we saw all of these incidents. What we didn't see was your pit exit. We saw you leave your pit box. We saw Smokey and Dan leave his. Talk us through the pit exit.
So, obviously, we changed my tyres and cold tyres and the wrong pressure on the front right because it didn't change when I was coming into the pits. I changed it and it stayed at 20.7, so my front right was just the lowest it could go. Tried hitting the brakes, it just locked up, went straight. I let off the brakes to not go onto the track, and the wheels just must have got some sort of power, spun, hit Smokey. And then Dan got through, both of us.
49 race wins for yourself now. Obviously, you're approaching that milestone. Obviously, Porsche Cup and GT4s really helped you sort of propel you in terms of the race wins to get here towards that 50th milestone. Is that something you can possibly achieve next week? Obviously, we know Ripper and Overtake are very fast drivers in the GT3s on Thursday night, but do you think next week could be a 50th race win, as well as a slender 17-point lead? What do you think going into Suzuka you can do in this GT4?
I've never driven Suzuka on Assetto Corsa, so I don't know what it's like here, but Project Cars 2, you know, we had the B-Tech version of it, so racing a real Suzuka is going to change everything up. But I mean, the BMW is a very stable car, but it's also very fast. If you know what you're doing with it, well, with any setup really, it's all right. Like, you can make it work.
Do you know what you're doing with it?
Well, after tonight, no. But, yeah.
Can you get your 50th win next week, Joe? Can you get it Thursday, in fact?
Probably not Thursday, because we know Ripper's an alien, but...
Yeah, you've got Sunday night as well as Thursday.
Maybe
Monday.
Sunday. I mean,
Well,
M4 is feeling great. M4 GT3 is just like...
Nice colour scheme on that as
on
well. You seem
rails.
to have a bit of a theme for your colour schemes at the moment.
Yeah, just a little bit, you
Just
know.
a little
Black,
bit, yeah.
red, blue, you know.
Well, Joe, congratulations tonight. You do lose a few championship points to Dan. The gap is 17 points as we head now across from America all the way to Asia. We go to Japan and we head to Suzuka. What a famous circuit that will be. The first time we've done Suzuka at SimPlay Motorsport that's not Formula One. Like Joe said, we had kind of the B-Tech version, Project Cars' own in Sakita, which loses out the hairpin on your way down towards Spoon. Yeah, it's a few other bits that it loses as well. You don't get the final chicane either, I believe it is. So, going to be an interesting one to see what we get then at Suzuka next time out for the GT4s. Tibbs gets the fans' vote for driver of the day. Tibbs also gets the commentators' vote 2-1. Obviously, PN gave his joint for Tibbs and Mike. So Tibbs comes away with both votes for driver of the day. Big honour, though, to Mike, Fiore and to Unorthodox, as well as to Hoffner. He had a pretty good evening as well. For them drivers, Pro-Am will be back hopefully on Wednesday night. Dan leading the championship, one hand on it. He's looking to secure that championship early, as well as the constructors with Audio Sport. Pro will be back Thursday. And
also,
I was going to leave it as a surprise. So shh.
I wasn't going to say what it was, but
Dan's changing cars. I'm not saying what he's changing cars to. Dan's changing cars. He's running his Chevrolet. He's running his Chevrolet Camaro.
Okay, he's running a GT4 car in Pro-Am.
So we'll see what Dan is in on Thursday evening. That is all of Pro-Am. Pro will be back Thursday evening. Ripper looking to extend that championship lead at Laguna. Seca, who's a beast around here. Last time out, can Mike finish on the podium again in his Honda? You'll have to wait and find out to see. We'll be back live as well on Sunday for Imola PS5, the 1 hour race on the PS5 version. Can Fiore get that race win? Obviously, great to see a stream on the channel with camera angles. We will be bringing you a highlights video of Sunday's race as well to get some more stuff on the channel. And we'll be back for GT4s next Monday at Suzuka. From all of us here at SimPlay Motorsport, have a very good evening. The countdown to Christmas is well and truly on, but it's the countdown to the GT4 Championship that is more important at the moment. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.